lifted foul out
Same spot.
over the fence. Yep. Count holds at 2-2.
Lucky Fanwood had 2 balls.
You know, the big concern now, though, for Long Island, though, is the fact that their offense scored 5 in the first and hasn't pleaded anything since then. They trail by 2. I mean, this is a huge situation. Pitch goes high. Count runs full at 3-2. You trail by 2. You really don't want to trail by much more.
And this is the proverbial nowhere to put them. Bases loaded with 1 out in the full count. But I think that what the Mudcats can take is that they did get the bases loaded an inning or so ago, and that
a called strike 3 as Torres could not believe it. He goes down for the second time. He struck out swinging the first at bat. He goes out looking and shaking his head here in the second at bat.
Torres
and
actually,
it's 2 away.
He actually threw the bat away instead of running towards first.
Let's see.
And on that third pitch, on that strike, looked like a strike.
Well, you know, the umpire's on one end of the plate, and the pitch was on the other side of the plate. So maybe it just looked a little deceiving where the umpire was positioned. So 2 down, bases still loaded, 4 runs in, 7-5. The Bronx Bombers in front, bottom of the 4th.
Duran struck out his first time up as well.
Struck out looking. This ball lifted into right field for a base hit. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. 9-5. Bronx in front. 2-run single for George Duran.
George Duran coming through there with 2 outs. Hitting the ball towards right center in front of Keller, who threw in. But by the time he got the ball in, the runners, Mikulski and Reichelt, were both off on the pitch as they should have been with 2 outs. Both of them easily scoring.
Put the bat on the ball. There's Mikulski scoring, followed by Reichert, and it's 9-5.
So now you still have man on first and second with 2 outs. Leadoff hitter Freddie Rojas up. Rojas is 0 for 2. We grounded out the second and reached third on an error by the right fielder, who was McKenna, his second time up. Grunberg, you could see moving his arm across his shoulder as he's trying to make sure that he got the right arm motion while he's sitting there on the mound.
Now, this is the offense you expect to see from the Bronx Bombers in this tournament. They've been so good offensively.
Still 9 runs, not what they've reached on their average here in the tournament so far, but I think it's reachable for the Mudcats. The Mudcats take pitches. They're a good team. They're scrappy. They singles. They're not one of those kind of teams, especially at this age, where you try to hit the gaps, home runs.
Well, I was going to make note. You made a good point, but you know they really haven't pounded the ball or anything. You know, the Bombers. I mean, the name is the Bombers, but they haven't really hit any bombs. They've just been, putting the bat on the ball, hitting it. Wee Willie Keela, hit them where they ain't.
Yeah, well, before this inning, they only had 2 hits.
And now another substitution on the mound. Now, Brendan Grunwald will go to left field. Let's see, they're bringing a pitcher in. Sanderson.
Yeah, he was warming up, and they took him out to catch.
He was the
warming
catcher,
up,
yep.
So he went to warm up for an inning for a couple of batters.
Okay, so now did Trenkel stay in the game?
I haven't seen anyone come towards the dugout, so I'm not sure just yet.
A lot of milling around the mound, the infield, talking things over as they are in a hole here, 9-5. Bottom of the 4th, 2 down. Bases loaded, key situation as Pete Sanderson comes in to replace Brandon Grunberg on the mound. All right, well, let's take a break while the pitching change is made, and Sanderson warms up. 9-5 the score. We're coming back with more right after this on Optimum.
Flyball 500 is the most accurate ball launching device ever. The Flyball 500 throws line drivers, grounders, and more with amazing accuracy. It's a great practice tool for parents and coaches. Search Flyball 500 on YouTube to see a demonstration.
Did you get a call from the coach about those kids who were caught drinking?
Not our guys. They know better.
Yeah, they know better.
Heads up, sport.
Real kids are curious about alcohol. 40% tried by the 8th grade. Talk early, talk often, get others involved.
Bethpage Car Wash guarantees a great wash every time. Serving Bethpage, Levittown, Farmingdale, Massapequa, Seaford, and Plainage. Bethpage Car Wash is open 7 days a week. We aim to serve all your car cleaning needs.
Pete Sanderson takes to the mound for the Mudcats, trailing 9-5 as they've given up 6 runs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And the Bombers have turned a 5-3 deficit into a 9-5 advantage. Bases loaded, and Zach Semler, the third baseman, will step in a huge situation right now as the Bombers try to extend their lead. And right now, Sanderson just trying to stop the bleeding. Takes the first pitch in for a called strike. Swinging strike, rather, 0-1. We are joined by Matt Galindo of Smithtown. Matt Galindo, the #1 U.S. AAA golfer in New York State. Matt, welcome.
Thank you.
That ball hit on the ground, foul. Now, #1 out of Smithtown. First of all, how old are you?
14 years old.
14, and you're from Smithtown. Attend what school?
St. Anthony's.
Oh, you're over at St. Anthony's. Okay, good golf program. And all right, let's talk about some of the basics. When did you start playing golf?
I started playing golf at 8 years old.
I spoke to base hit up the middle here by Semler, and it gets past the center fielder
That's
Collins.
big trouble. 1 run scores, 2 runs scores, rounding third on his way home. 3 runs scored on his way third. Now rounding third, trying to score a Semler. Here's the throw to the plate. The play got him. Semler tagged out by McKenna, but not before 3 runs come across the plate to make it a 12-5 game as he is retired, Semler, to end this 4th inning as the Bombers put on 7 runs on the board to take the big 12-5 lead. We'll take a break. Matt Galindo will stay with us. We'll talk to him at the top of the 5th inning. But a big, huge inning for the Bronx Bombers as they score 7. There's the hit by Semler. The outfielder Collins can't come up with it. It goes all the way to the wall. 3 runs will score. Semler tagged out at the plate. 12-5 to score after 4.
A company created from a mindset of a player because they are players, All Out Sports is affiliated with top manufacturers, so you can come to one place for all your softball needs. Visit alloutsportsonline.com to ensure that our prices will not be beat.
Pronto of Long Island is a diverse community-based organization serving the areas of Bayshore, Brentwood, Central Islip, and neighboring communities of Hempstead to Massac Shirley. Pronto provides free food through his pantry and gently used clothing and household goods through his thrift shop and warehouse. Pronto also offers a multitude of other community services. For more information on volunteering, donations, or services, please call 631-231-8290.
The most accurate ball launching device ever is here. Flyball 500 serves up grounders, line drivers, and more with pinpoint accuracy. It's a great tool for training and a great way to have some outdoor fun. Search Flyball 500 on YouTube to see a demonstration.
Today's game is being brought to you by Optimum, where your TV, phone, and internet company. So we have completed 4 innings of play, and the Bronx Bombers, showing why they're called the Bronx Bombers, putting up 7 runs in that 4th inning as they erase a 5-0 lead after just 1/2 of an inning, and now lead it 12-5. As we go to the top of the 5th, Mark Maestri still on the mound. We'll continue with Matt Galindo out of Smithtown, the #1 U.S. USSSA golfer in New York State out of Smithtown, 14-year-old golfer, and started playing at 8. Was your family very much involved in golf before you started playing?
Yeah, my dad and my grandfather got me involved in golf.
And I remember I spoke to you a couple of months ago. I mean, I did an interview for the Global Recreation Network website, and a good conversation that you and I had back then. And I remember your father, a huge influence on your development. And I remember you telling me a story about your father and how you picture him in your head sometimes when you're playing. You hear him talking to you when he's not there.
Yeah.
So even when your father's not watching you, he's there in your own mind watching you. So tell me a little bit, though, how you can project that when your father's not there, because I know talking how much of an influence he was about how you feel him there. Tell me a little about that.
Yes, when I get into trouble sometimes, I always try and picture him there and what he would try and say and try and get me back on track.
Anthony Fontana, 1 for 2 with A 2-run triple in the first, steps in, swings and fouls the first pitch off. 0-1. Well, golf is such a mental game too. You know, it's everybody thinks the physical part. You don't have to be big. You don't have to necessarily be strong. It's all about making the proper contact at the bottom of your swing. And but the mental part of the game, that's something that's not easy for a lot of people to understand. Because I play, and you know, it's hard. You know, 18 holes to really keep your mind in focus for 18 holes is tough. How do you really do that? I know you mentioned your dad, but I mean, what do you do to keep your mind sharp during a round?
Whenever I get into, you know, trouble and I need to really think, I kind of just start thinking about the basics, what I could do to get myself out of trouble, to get myself back on track, start playing more safe.
Now batter, batting.
Now,
10.
Excuse me.
Hunter.
You said that
Michael, number 10.
that I know that you've won a couple of tournaments here for you, Tripp. How often are you playing right now? Well, now that it's November, how often are you playing during the year?
I try and play, I go out and practice a few times a week, maybe play 1 or 2 rounds over the weekend. Just try and stay in shape and kind of keep my swing intact.
I want Matt's life. I want to be able to get out and play 3 or 4 times a week.
And here it is, though, almost Thanksgiving.
That's golf
and,
weather. You
yeah,
can play
of course.
today. Come on.
He could be playing right now. Instead, he's sitting here looking like a golfer. Look at him next to us.
I played on my wedding day, December 31st, 1996, in a hailstorm in New Jersey. So the golfers, we don't care about weather.
My sports softball, I don't think my wife would have appreciated me going out and playing some softball that morning.
That ball lined to first base and right into the glove of Vargas to retire the side. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and none left at the end of 4.5. It's 12-5 as the Mudcats trail the Bronx Bombers. We're back with more from Riches in just a moment right here on Optimum.
Owner-operated and managed, the newly renovated Bethpage Car Wash features 21st century technology. Our detailing is top-notch. Get monthly passes, corporate discounts, and more when you use Bethpage Car Wash.
Some goodbyes are worth fighting for. Help the Marine Corps Scholarship Foundation honor Marines by educating their children at mcsf.org.
Total Tax and Business Solutions of Long Island. Based in Ronkonkoma, we are a full-service tax preparation, accounting, and representation firm. As enrolled agents, we're able to represent clients in all 50 states. We pride ourselves on client service and professionalism.
We go to the bottom of the 5th. The Bombers with a commanding 12-5 advantage over the Mudcats in this semifinal matchup in this 12U tournament. Sponsored by the USSSA. As we look at Nick Collins, who started the game on the mound, struggled in the last inning. He's now out in the outfield playing center field. Pete Sanderson still on the mound for the Mudcats. We continue to be joined by Matt Galindo, the #1 golfer in New York State, USSSA. And what's kind of the future for you right now? You're playing in these tournaments, and I take it you'll be playing over for the Friars.
Yep. During the spring, I plan on trying out.
Trying out.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
#1 golfer.
player, yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's going to be a tough grind for you.
I think I'll try out for the team.
But what are your aspirations long term?
My goal, hopefully, is to become a professional. It's always been a dream of mine, is to become a professional in the future. But see where I take that.
Jonathan Fonseca steps in, 0 for 2, reached on an error and scored in the 4th.
You play any other sports over in high school?
Yeah, I actually just finished up the soccer season this fall. Finished at a good 9-1. Lost in the championship, though.
I asked that question of him because I remember in my interview with him, I asked him which he preferred more, golf and soccer.
And?
Golf.
Of course.
And tell me your answer. Tell me, you remember what you told me?
I dropped soccer in a second. Golf is my #1 sport.
It is a passion-type game. I mean, people don't realize just, it's just a tough game. People watch on TV and they say, oh, it's like watching paint dry. But until you play it and realize just how hard a game it is, the ball's just sitting there for you. But to go out and actually hit it and learn a short game, learn about touch, figure out how to get in and out of bunkers, it's just, there's so much to it. It's a great game. I mean, I took it up when the first time I ever hit a ball was 16. And at that point, all my other sports I couldn't care about. It didn't matter. That was really what I wanted to do.
And what's your strongest part of your game?
If I had to choose my strongest part of my game, it'd probably be my short game. Most of the times I either up and down or just make the 2-putt.
Fonseca grounds out 6-3. Cools to Fontana for the first out.
And now that we're approaching the winters, what I was asked you before the last inning ended,
Now batting,
how do you prepare for the spring? What are you going to do? How often are you going to be able to practice, and where? And maybe, I don't know, maybe you have something in your garage set up. Maybe you have a facility somewhere that you go to. How do you keep practicing over the winter?
I have a turf putting green in my backyard, so that keeps me. I could putt over the winter, and then there's a driving range about 20 minutes from my house that's heated. So over the winter I go there, and then I go down to Florida a few times during the winter.
I know what that's like. I took my son out actually 2 days ago. He had a good week at school. Took him to the golf range. It was cold, but you got the heated stalls and stuff, so you can go out 365. It doesn't really matter, and it's a great game. And Matt, I mean, we wish you nothing but the best in the future over at St. Anthony's, and someday, come Sunday, I want to see you. Speaking of Jim Nance on the tour. That would be great to see. Thanks for stopping by.
And I'm sure I'll be talking to you once again with the Global Recreation Network, putting your name up on our website once again.
Yep. Thank you.
Congratulations,
Matt Galindo, the #1 USSSA golfer in all of New York State, from Smithtown at St. Anthony's High School. Hit on the ground to short. Cools up with it. Long throw across the diamond. Got him by half a step.
Yeah, Cools made a very nice play on that play off the bat by Maestri, getting him by a step at first with a good stretch by Fontana.
So 2 away here in the 5th.
And I understand that Matt Galindo's father right now is in Hawaii playing golf.
Number 40, Xavier Vargas. Sorry.
Someday. My wife said before, no matter what in our lifetime, I have to take her to Hawaii.
Oh, I won't tell you that I've been there.
Fisted in the infield. Ball had a lot of spin, and when it hit the ground, Conway could not get it as it skipped hard to his right. An infield single with 2 outs for Vargas, who is now 3 for 3 with 2 singles.
Yeah, that ball was off his fist. And as Conway came in, moving to his left, the ball hit in front of him. And as you said, with the spin, kicked away, with Vargas safe at first with his 3rd hit of the day.
A double, 2 singles, 2 RBIs, a stolen base, and 2 runs. Pretty good game for first baseman Xavier Vargas.
Actually, the 2nd stolen base he had is when he stole home on the double steal.
There you go.
So Vargas having a good day all around while playing first base for the Bombers.
That ball outside.
I guess
it'll be last licks for the Mudcats as they trail by 7. But, win or lose, boy, the Mudcats have shown a lot today.
Yeah, they've shown that, although that they are in the 11U age range, that they can play with the 12U kids.
Runner goes. That pitch wide of the catcher, McKenna. So stolen base. You have to give that to Vargas. 3rd stolen base.
Yep, Vargas' 3rd stolen base has been on the base pass, running around all day, driving in 2 runs, scoring 2. One of the top players for the Bombers here against the Mudcats.
That ball hit foul down the first base side.
Yeah, Dela Cruz fighting that one off on the inside fastball, fouling it right down off the first base line, right off the fence down here. You can hear the wind on our microphones picking up a little bit coming in from center field over the trees that we have here at the Merchants Complex. That ball hitting Dela Cruz on the fastball. Looked like it hit him just below the knee. Bounced right back up, running right down to first base. Dela Cruz shaking off his left leg.
Jose Acevedo.
Like I said, looked like it hit him more or less in the shin, right below the knee. He's shaking it off. It looks like he'll be all right. You got to show the toughness against for your teammates and against the other teams, showing
Especially
that it doesn't
TV,
hurt.
Though,
Oh, yeah, of course. Not just that, it's also when there's weather too.
So the coaches come out again to speak to the pitcher. Pete Sanderson, 3rd pitcher of the game. Nick Collins started. Brandon Grunberg came in back in the 4th inning, and then Sanderson also came in back in the 4th as well. So 3 pitches today for the Mudcats.
And I think that was more to just settle him down after hitting Dela Cruz. I think it was just to settle him down. Sanderson just get his head back into where he needs him to be. Even though they're down by 7 runs, they're still in this game.
Nobody going.
You can hear Coach McKenna yelling in the background at his son, who's the catcher.
Always tough for a coach when you have your kid on the team. You know, you don't want to be too harsh on him, and you don't want to give him any favoritism, and you know, you want to coach him, but it's got to be tough.
Yeah, McKenna, the catcher, looked like he took that last pitch off the inside of the knee, which is why I think it took him a little bit of time to get the ball back to the pitcher.
Yep.
His father checking on him, making sure that everything was all right for his catcher here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
So only 3 in 3 half innings today were runs scored. That's fouled right back in front of us.
You could see us behind the umpire there, both of us reacting to that foul ball.
Really?
All right, I did.
Okay.
There you can see Dela Cruz leading off first base after getting hit by the pitch.
So the Mudcats with 5 runs in the first, the Bombers with 3 in the second, and 9 in the fourth. The only half innings in which runs were scored, but they were big numbers. And the outcome is a 12-5 advantage for the Bombers. Hit on the ground to second. Should be an easy play for Wilderman. Over to first, 4-3 to retire the side. So no runs, 1 hit, a stolen base, a hit batsman, 2 men left. We head to the top of the 6th. Last licks for the Long Island Mudcats. Can they pull out a miracle? Find out when we return to Moriches right after this on Optimum.
The Metro Long Island United States Specialty Sports Association organized and sanctioned the tournament you're watching today. For more information about the USSSA, call 631-482-3264, extension 700. Play the best. Play USSSA.
You locate your nearest shelter, you go down there, and you pick out the perfect match for you. Me. I'm afraid to open my eyes. I'm afraid yesterday was all a dream, and I'll wake up and still be in the shelter. 1, 2, 3.
The Global Recreation Network and the USSSA is bringing the Junior Golf Tour to Long Island. Boys and girls between the ages of 9 and 18 will play on some of the island's best courses. Winners qualify for the championship in Orlando. Call today. Play the best. Play USSSA.
Today's game is being brought to you by Optimum. We're your TV, phone, and internet company. Hal Sass, Russ Blatt back at the Moriches Sports Complex in Moriches, New York, and the semifinal matchup reaches the top of the 6th inning where the Mudcats trail by 7. Last licks for the Mudcats. If they cannot pull out a miracle, the Bombers will advance to play the New York Jays in the championship game of this 12U tournament.
Yeah, the Jays beat the Island Trees Bulldogs in the other semifinal game, and they are anxiously awaiting the winner. They're standing here off to our left behind the backstop, watching the last inning here to see who they're going to be playing. And one thing I want to just comment about the Mudcats, besides the fact that we keep going to that they're an 11-year-old team playing in the 12-year-old tournament. I watch them between innings. They're down 12-5, but they're all smiling.
I saw that.
They're having a good time. They're still joking around. They know that they represented themselves well. But you know what? They're having a good time, which is really what this is all about. Little League Baseball. We still call it Little League. You know, they're kids.
Yep.
They're enjoying themselves. They're having a good time. And, hey, it's the middle of November, and you're playing baseball. Not so
Can't be
bad.
any better than that. Mark Maestri still on the mound. Joe Keller at the plate. Keller walked and scored in the first. Was hit by a pitch back in the third. Maestri still on the mound, and what a job he's done today. Coming in the first inning, replacing Freddie Rojas with 2 out. Was able to get out of the first inning after Rojas allowed 5 runs. And he has shut down Long Island since then. And now there's 1 away here in the 6th.
Yeah, Keller swinging at a high fastball, striking out, and it's still he got his fist pumps from his coaches as he came in. These guys are a good bunch of guys, and the kids enjoying themselves here today. Even though they are down to their final 2, Sanderson, who started as the catcher and he came in to pitch, facing here Maestri.
in their 121st game of the year for the Mudcats. And, you know, we're laughing about that being a big number. It's nothing. The other side's got 165 in the books. This will be 166 on the season. And if things hold up, it'll be their 144th victory.
And I believe, talking to the coach, I think this is their last game of the year. And I think I actually saw on their website, looked earlier yesterday, that they already have their winter plans already ready for next year with